Hello everybody, I'm JackieKCooper and this is my Entertainment Rundown Part 2. It's Part 2 because I saw 6 movies this past weekend. I've already covered 3 of them in a separate video, and now I'm going to give you another 3 reviews. And I'm going to start with a movie that I loved, and it's a documentary. I never loved documentaries, but every once in a while I'll see one just on a dare or just on a crazy decision to watch it. And they sent me this film, The Biggest Little Farm. And there was a movie a few years ago called Farmland or something like that, where it looked at 5 different farmers and ranchers across the country, and I was crazy about that movie too. Maybe it's something about farming that draws me to them, and I don't understand it, what it is in my nature. But this is called The Biggest Little Farm. It's about a couple, John and Molly Chester, and Molly was a chef and John was a cameraman, and they had a dog named Todd. And they got married, they're living in an apartment, and when they go off to work, the dog grieves so much that he growls and disrupts the neighborhood, and they're finally evicted from their apartment. And so they decide to go after their lifelong dream, and that was to have a farm, kind of like a farm-to-table product. They're going to sell their product to the market, but they wanted to do everything within the natural evolution, of nature, and so it was specific in that respect. And they had a mentor by the name of Alan York who worked with them, and they weren't going to use any pesticides. Everything was going to be natural, and they were going to have an orchard and different animals, and it shows this. It shows how they work this farm. And they had volunteers, interns from all over the country who came just for the joy of seeing this way of producing food. And I don't want to give away the whole movie, but one of the things is that in the orchard where the fruit crop was, on the fruit trees, there were snails. I never had seen this, but there were just numerous snails all over these trees, and they were killing the trees. And they thought, what are we going to do? Because they didn't want to use, like I say, pesticides or poisons or anything like that. But they learned that ducks love to eat snails. So they had a big pond, and they stocked it with ducks. And there go the ducks after the snails, just having them a French buffet. And they used that kind of nature's tendencies to solve the problems of growing the property. But then they have to deal with nature. They have droughts, they have windstorms, all of that. And they photograph the whole thing, so that you get the complete story. I love this movie. It was just like you're watching life, and you're seeing how glorious one thing works hand in hand with the other. And I can't recommend it enough. I think you would enjoy it. It's rated PG because there's just the violence of the animals on the farm. There are coyotes and get after some of the animals, that type of thing. So, but it's PG, and I scored it 8 out of 10. That's a big score from me. But again, I usually don't like documentaries, but I urge you, if you get a chance, The Biggest Little Farm. Mark that in your head, and go see this. Then I went to see Poms. This is the movie with Diane Keaton, where she plays a senior citizen. I could relate to that. And she is retired. She sells most of her belongings and goes to Georgia to a community where seniors can live. And she's kind of wondering why she made the move. And she makes friends with the neighbor across the street, played by Jackie Weaver, and another woman there in the retirement center, played by Rhea Perlman. And one of the rules of the community is you have to belong to a club. And if you don't like the clubs that are offered, the head of the place says, there are hundreds of them. But if you don't like them, you can come up with your own club. And so Diane Keaton's character and Jackie Weaver somehow come up with the idea of starting a cheerleading club. And it's all about never being too old to participate, that you're always worthwhile, that you can always, have, new opportunities in your life. All these things I could relate to. And it's a little cheesy at times. So the comedy falls a little flat from, time to time. But it's got a sweetness and spirit to it. It is rated PG-13 for profanity, some adult situations, and I scored it 6 out of 10. It's not the best movie of this type I've ever seen, but like I said, it is sweet and it does have a good message. Then we had The Hustle. This is Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson. You've seen it advertised. It's kind of a feminist remake of a movie called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels that starred Steve Martin and Michael Caine. That's been many years ago. But it's kind of an update on that. It's about two women, Hathaway and Wilson, who are con artists, and they make an unlikely team. Anne Hathaway's character is very classy. She looks for the high-end rich guys to con out of their money. Rebel Wilson is more running roughshod. She plays the quick cons and gets her money that way. The movie looked like it was going to be so funny. It looked like there was going to be such good chemistry between this duo of Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson, but it just falls flat time after time after time after time. Everything good was in the trailer. Everything bad is in the movie. Anne Hathaway, can do comedy, but she just never gets the role right in this one. Rebel Wilson, it's good that she's a co-player. I don't like it when she tries to carry a movie by herself, but she needs to go back and make Pitch Perfect 17 or whatever it is, because this movie is not going to enhance her career. There's a guy, Alex Sharp, who is the guy that they're trying to con, that they've teamed up together. He's one of these, has developed an app, so he's got billions supposedly, and they're trying to get his money. None of that works. It's just flat. I really wanted it to be a movie that would make me feel better, make me laugh, send me out of the theater with a smile on my face. No. It's rated PG-13 for profanity and sexual situations. I scored it 4 out of 10, below average. It could have gone even lower than that, but Hathaway and Wilson do have some charm. But boy, that's a bad one to end on because it was not a good experience. But those are my 3 movies for part 2. Next week we're going to be talking about John Wick Chapter 3, Keanu Reeves. I can't wait for that one. Also, The Sun Is Also a Star, which looks like a movie that I've seen a million times, but we'll see how that is. And then finally, A Dog's Journey for all you pet lovers out there, Dennis Quaid. So we'll see what those are like, plus some extra ones, I am sure. But for now, make sure you subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And I will say to you, this has been Jackie K. Cooper's Entertainment Rundown, Part 2.